Alright, there's a seriously long overdue conversation about Joshua Zirkzee that I want to have because I've been so angry about it for so long. Like, this guy is. He's just so good at football, and I just hate that people can't see it. And people watching this might not be able to see it either, but like, he's so good at football. And I don't know if it's like I've been calling it the Berbatov effect, right? Of like, this guy is slow and he's tall, but he's not too physical, whatever. But like, he's got this vision, and I've been talking about this for months since he joined the club. I've been like so excited, watching the highlights. I know we all were, but like, people gave this guy 2 games to prove himself, and after that they just gave up on him, and that just makes me so mad because it's like, what kind of what do we expect when a 23-year-old joins the club for 30, 40 million quid? What do we expect? Do we expect 10 goals a week? Do we expect a 30 goal season in his first season? I don't understand. Like, Højlund's been here for 2 years now and looks worse than what he did when he joined. And when he joined, he didn't even look that good other than in the Champions League. But Zirkzee got maybe 2, 3 games and people said, oh, he's a donkey, blah, 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 blah. This, just because he doesn't make, dashing runs in behind the defence and shit like that, people want to claim that he's bad at football. Like, people are saying he's bad at football, and that gets on my nerves so much because this is a guy that took Bologna to the Champions League. He did. Thiago Motta said it himself. Like, he reminds him of Ronaldinho. You don't just say those kind of things because you feel like it. And I just think that, like, this whole hate around Zirkzee, I don't know what it is, and I don't know why there's not the same for Højlund. Like, Højlund gets hate, but he got nowhere near the treatment that Zirkzee's got for almost no reason. I understand he hasn't scored as many goals as he'd like, but we were told 1,000 times before he started playing that he isn't a goal scorer. He isn't here to score goals. He's here to make the team play better football, which is what he does every time he's on the pitch. So I don't know why people can't see that. Every single time that Joshua Zirkzee steps onto the football pitch for Manchester United, we play better possession football. Do we play better counter-attacking football? Absolutely not, because he is the slowest man alive. But my word, he is one of the best technical strikers in the league. And that's a fact. And people won't like see it. He's got the best eye for a pass, I think, in the league as a striker. He's got some of the best feet of a striker that I've seen, other than maybe a João Pedro or Matthias Cunha or something like that, who doesn't even play as a striker, by the way. But, like, he's so good with the ball at his feet. He's so good at spotting his man. He's so unselfish. And for some reason he gets all this hate because he doesn't score a hat-trick every week. But that game yesterday against Southampton, and it seems like everyone's just picked up on it now, which is why it's kind of annoying that I'm making this video now, because I could have made it weeks ago. I've got tweets from weeks and weeks and weeks ago talking about how good this guy is, saying the exact stuff I'm saying now. That game against Southampton, we would have lost that or drawn it 1-1 if it wasn't for Joshua Zirkzee, because Rasmus Højlund is useless right now. Right now. I don't know about in the future, but right now Rasmus Højlund is a useless striker, a useless player in general. Manchester United. He can't hold up the ball. He can't play a pass properly. He can't really get in goal-scoring positions. He hides behind his defender. He's not an aerial threat. Joshua Zirkzee can do all of those things, bar maybe the goal-scoring positions, because he's so deep. It's the same issue that kind of Kane had for England, where Kane was dropping too deep. But the problem is that Kane was getting in people's way because we were playing like a more compact midfield for England. Joshua Zirkzee is able to drop into the midfield and change the game and act as a third midfielder, as well as being a link-up player for Ahmad and the wingers. Because, the people call them 10s, but I think they're more wingers. He drops in, they can push forwards, and boom, Ahmad scores a hat-trick. Joshua Zirkzee he came on the 55th minute, so he played for, 35 minutes yesterday. For half of his game that he was on, Ahmad was scoring goals. it's not a coincidence that Zirkzee came on and we won that game. Ahmad was on for that entire game and he had an absolute rotter. He had a stinker because he had no one to play with. Joshua Zirkzee comes on and just gives the ball to him. He just sprays the ball out just because he can, because he's that good. And people want to say that he's a bad footballer. And he's been doing this for weeks, by the way. And one thing I also got annoyed about was the Europa League suddenly starts posting his highlights a couple days ago after the Arsenal game. And I'm like, that game was from like a month ago. And suddenly you're posting his highlights when there's good press around him. And it's like, this guy is a baller. And casual fans just don't see it because they just don't rate football. They don't understand football and footballers as a whole. They just see goals and assists and think, oh, that's it then. You know, like Ahmad wouldn't be if Ahmad hadn't scored yesterday but had been integral, people wouldn't be talking about him because people don't really watch football for the actual football. They watch it for the goals that go in. And that's the difference between a lot of fans and I'd like to think people like myself. It's that I like watching the game, and that's why I rate Zirkzee, and that's why people that are like Instagram banter merchants don't understand how good this bloke is. Because they never actually watch the games, they just watch the highlights and the goals that go in at the time. So, end of rant, but I just want to say that this whole Zirkzee thing is going to bite a lot of people in the ass. Probably come by the end of the season, next 2 seasons, but this guy is a baller, and even if he leaves, he'll ball out somewhere else.